The Benton Lady Tigers taking center stage. He made everybody in the room feel like they were the only person in the room. 55 combined points from Jada Anderson and Quay Chambers to win the program's first ever state championship. How excited is Louisiana Tech to be here in Shreveport? What went into that decision to stay in college, and not just stay in college, but stay at the University of Houston? North DeSoto also scores points in a hurry. Coach, a lot of talk in this game. Big game. This is one of those games that can, really take this program to the next level, isn't it? Senior quarterback returning for his third year as a starter. How high are the expectations at Louisiana Tech in 2019? Next up, the Mansfield Lady Wolverines. They are playing right now, and right now they lead 3-0. We're about 2 minutes into this game, so we'll have highlights of this game and post-game reaction coming up tonight at 10. Riley Duas is a 5th grader at Benton Elementary School. When she was born, her parents were told she may never walk. Riley suffers from cerebral palsy, but she doesn't let the disorder temper her passion for archery.
She just wanted to be part of a team, and so being part of archery is something that she can do just like everybody else.
One of the coaches came up to me and said, "Hey, do you want me to practice with you?"
Because of the CP, Riley can't stand for long periods of time.
I was shooting in a folding chair. Like one of those, like this chair.
She didn't like it. She didn't like shooting out of the chair at all, and that was pretty uncomfortable.
So then we stood me up, and I kept getting tired.
That's when Benton archery coach Autry Lowry came up with a solution to the problem. He built this stand for Riley's bow.
She had some balancing issues at the very beginning. We worked through that, and we just kind of altered it every time we shot. Every time she would have a tournament, we'd make some adjustments.
Coach Lowry has had some medical issues of his own. He's had several surgeries on his neck, one that came with major complications.
Left side of my throat and tongue to be paralyzed.
After this, he fell into a deep depression.
And that was probably the darkest times of my life, trying to battle through that.
He credits Riley's enthusiasm for pulling him out of that depression.
I think she's an inspiration to many people because she does not complain. She does not quit. She does not give up. So I have neck issues, but what do I have to complain about?
Her favorite saying is, "Don't doubt me till I try it." And I mean, she pushes herself, and she's gonna push herself until she does it. She was told she may never walk, may never talk when she was born. And I mean, she's just overcome everything they've always said she wasn't gonna do.
Riley Duas is an inspiration not just to her coach, but to children with special needs all across the country. And according to Coach Lowry, she's got the heart of a champion, because champions don't quit. Evangel 7th grader Michael Gilreath was diagnosed with autism when he was in the 2nd grade.
When we first got the official diagnosis that yes, Michael has autism, I was crushed. I thought this limits his opportunities for the rest of his life.
Early in life, things were tough for Michael, both at home and at school.
When I was very little, I used to go to a different school before this, and I was also bullied by this little boy. He's always mean to me.
That's when Michael's parents, Todd and Cindy, started looking for a new school. Dr. Cheryl Marsiglia pointed them in the direction of Evangel Christian Academy Center for Autism, and it was a perfect fit for Michael.
You hear the stories on the news and on Facebook about, this autistic kid sits alone at lunch and whatnot. Not here.
We kind of went from parents who would be worried about our child's autistic, he's a little bit different, is he going to be bullied, is he going to face problems, and he was a rock star.
This newfound popularity has a lot to do with Michael's personality. His family also credits the Bridge program, which uses reverse inclusion, meaning they bring kids who are not on the autism spectrum into the classrooms to mentor out-of-the-box kids. This is where Michael's relationship with Evangel quarterback Blake Chapin developed.
Blake came in open to learn from Michael, and Michael came in open to learn from Blake, and it was instant friendship.
Kind of takes a little while to kind of build a relationship with them, but once you start building a relationship with them, like, you start seeing strengths in the way they talk to you, like the way they communicate with other people and stuff like that.
Michael is also on the Evangel wrestling team, his first year wrestling varsity competition. He's competing against kids much older than him. On November 8th, Michael was victorious for the first time.
That was the biggest moment of my life, aside from, my children being born.
I've got to keep correction on. Mike's hit to them, and
the feeling is just indescribable. To see him overcome so much and then to get a win, I was overwhelmed.
Since then, Michael has gone on a tear. He wins all the time.
I get strong and I win a bunch of matches.
And it makes you feel pretty good when you win?
Yep.
When he realizes his full potential, these wins now are going to be dwarfed in comparison from what he accomplished, not only in the mat, but in the world. Michael was so surprised the first time he got a win, but none of us were.
He's now in an environment where he can thrive. His self-confidence is soaring, and the sky is the limit for Michael Gilreath, both on and off the wrestling mat.
It's just a cool job.
Shreveport firefighters Ben Cotton and Alan Smith have been shooting together in the sniper section of the Louisiana National Guard for the last 3 years.
Ready? Send it.
In order to have pinpoint accuracy, practice is needed, and a lot of it. In fact, Ben and Alan are on the shooting range taking turns spotting for each other 2 to 3 times a week.
Marksmanship is a hugely perishable skill. You can think you're good and sit on the couch and take a few weeks off, and you come out here and you have to shake off the cobwebs. So our philosophy is don't let any cobwebs quit.
The last month, Ben and Alan had the chance to compete in the Winston P. Wilson Sniper National Championships.
The biggest thing that me and him gained were just, hey, we're not going to talk about it. We're just going to do our thing. Let's not get in our heads. We'll shoot how we shoot, and then we'll just see where we land.
Where they landed? The winner's circle.
It was pretty incredible. We knew that we were doing well, and we just didn't have any bad days. We were just consistently on. That was, I think the consistency was the biggest part of that.
Obviously, we were really proud that we were able to go up there and do so well.
There we go. It's perfect.
But how do you get so good shooting more than 1,000 yards away from a target?
Failing a lot of times. In order to be able to shoot as far as we can shoot now accurately, it takes a lot of practice, just putting in a lot of work and knowing your equipment.
Ben and Alan have a level of trust in one another that most just wouldn't understand.
Not only just a trust level on coming out here to the range, but you know, in our section, I mean, I have to trust him with my life.
If we were deployed together, I could trust him to do his job to help bring me back home, and hopefully he could trust me to do the same for him.